podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
Hi, I'm Marcus Wyatt, skeleton athlete with Team GB. You're listening to Anything But Footy with the latest on the Olympics.
Another medal moment, another fourth place, and a frank assessment from the head of Team GB.
They just didn't outplay Italy. Italy outplayed them.
That's Eve Muirhead, chef de mission. I'm Michael.
And I'm John, and this is Milano Daily from Anything But Footy. We talk about the Olympics and the Paralympics all the time, not once every 4 years like everybody else does.
That interview in full, and we aim to avoid another fourth place finish in figure skating tonight.
What medal should we give out for fourth? If Trump can win a football peace prize, we should give our fourth placed athletes something?
We'll discuss that. With the rest of the news from the games, including, everyone wants to win it, more gold for Italy.
And it may be day 5, but we've tomorrow's news today, and we have the world silver snowboard cross medalists Charlotte Banks and Hugh Nightingale, and also the defending Olympic curling champions. No pressure, Great Britain.
I'm Rebecca Morrison from the GB women's curling team. We're here in Cortina, ready to play in the Olympics. It's my first one, and yeah, we want to go win some games.
This is Milano Daily from Anything But Footy. Download, listen, follow, pass it on, share the link, get in touch and let your friends and your fellow Olympic fans know where we are. We're on day 5. Everyone is really into it now. Everyone is an expert in everything like snowboard cross. So tell them what they need to listen to, and it's Anything But Footy.
Hi, I'm Phoebe Becker.
I'm James Hernandez.
Team GB Figure Skaters.
You're listening to the latest on the Winter Olympics from
Anything But Footy.
Team GB's mixed curling pair of Bruce Mowat and Jen Dodds have lost their bronze medal playoff match against the host nation, Italy. They were defeated 5-3. It means they finished in the same position as they did in Beijing and the Games of 2022. Bruce Mowat said afterwards he was saying a little bit tearful, saying that it hurts a lot. So there's been a lot of fourth places in recent days for Team GB. It shows how close we are, said an emotional Jen Dodds. Both will now turn their focus onto the men's and the women's team competitions. More on that to come without tomorrow's news today, TNT. The men, as we said yesterday, will play China later on, looking to go one better than the silver medal that they won 4 years ago. Same quartet returning for that one. And Jen Dodds is right. There have been a lot of fourth place finishes. There is a chance, of course, that Lila and Lewis in the figure skating later could end up there as well. Behind France, USA and Canada, they are the other medal contenders. 4 into 3 just doesn't go. The home favourites, Italy, are challenging as well. So what is going on? We've been close. What do they say? Close but no cigar. I have been speaking to the chef de mission, Eve Muirhead. In fact, we spoke shortly after she came out of the venue from that curling match. 4 years ago, she was in the British team. 4 years ago, she saw Team GB wait and wait and wait for a medal. And 4 years ago, she did win it, the Olympic gold in curling on the final day of the Games.
We've had a few fourth places now. Curling just getting the fourth place there, which, yeah, I'm gutted for the guys, and but I'm incredibly proud of them as well. They had a great tournament, but unfortunately Sweden were just better than them in the semi-final, and then outplayed by Italy in the bronze medal match there.
What was your analysis of the action then this afternoon with Bruce and Jen? Because I know you were there, obviously.
Yeah, I did. I watched it, and I think they just didn't outplay Italy. Italy outplayed them. Stefania had a fantastic game. Like, she's one of those players that you leave her a kind of crucial draw shot, she'll make it. But that's curling. It comes down to absolutely nothing. She had a shot in the sixth end, which I would say probably won her the game. It was a bit of the game changer. If she didn't make that, we were then going to be back like all square. She made it, and that just kind of changed the momentum within the game.
Have you had a chance to have a word with Bruce and Jen afterwards? How are they feeling?
No, I haven't, but I think it's important that we give them a bit of time. Bruce starts the team event tomorrow, Jen the following day, but they've been in this position before. Both bounced back, got a medal in Beijing, and yeah, I'm really kind of I'm proud of them, and I know they'll take a bit of time to get over this, and that's just natural. But they've got their teams here now, a great support network, and we are really going to have a good end to this competition.
How much will they be able to lean on that experience, as you say, of 4 years ago when this happened? They finished fourth, but both ended up on the podium.
Yeah, I think they can really lean on it, and experience is something that you can't buy. Like you've got to go through it to learn from it, and both have. Similar situation for myself in Pyeongchang. I came fourth, and it's a horrible position to finish. You're so close, but you're not on the podium. So I think both of them will kind of look back at that experience and yeah, and kind of pull themselves through. They've got the rest of their team here, and yeah, back to business tomorrow.
And how are you watching it? It's your sport. You're an Olympic champion. What's it like to sit in the stands?
It's definitely different sitting in the stands. I'm not the best person to sit and watch. I was always the same growing up when I was watching my brothers. Nervous wreck. Sometimes I kind of wished like I was on the ice. But like yeah, it's part of the role, isn't it? I did notice this morning, even after last night, God, my stress last night was high, being a spectator. But no, I'm really, really enjoying it, and we've got so much more competition to come out here in Milano.
So no panic buttons being pressed. Obviously, Kirsty and Mia finishing fourth yesterday. Your reaction just to generally how Team GB are set right now then?
Well, I think we've got to remember that success, it can be measured by more than just medals, can't it? And we've returned some of our best ever results. We saw yesterday like missing out on the podium by absolutely nothing. But Kirsty and Mia still have another event to come. And I know they're going to absolutely give it them all. And I'm so kind of proud, and it makes me it makes me so happy watching them really kind of pushing themselves to the limits and really doing all they can for Team GB out there.
And what are your plans now? Because obviously looking ahead, as well as the curling medal opportunities, more medal opportunities on snow as well. A lot of people now talking about Lila and Lewis. Have you had a chance to see their Spice Girls theme dance that I went to see last night?
Oh, isn't it? It was incredible. And yeah, like they're a great pair, aren't they? And they bring so much kind of excitement to this team. Layla being the opening ceremony flag bearer. What a fantastic job. What an amazing ceremony. And yeah, can't wait to watch them tomorrow night. And I know they're gonna, no matter what, like they're gonna do the nation super proud because everybody loves a bit of figure skating at the Winter Olympics.
Is it important to get a medal at some point just to start building the momentum, or is that not the be all and end all?
Of course, it's absolutely not the be all and end all. Like athletes are doing their absolute best out here. Like no athlete came here to not do their best. And we're all behind them. We promised them that we'll do absolutely everything to help support them. And yeah, I'm just so impressed by how the sports are kind of working themselves, conducting themselves, giving it absolutely everything. And we really are. Like we're a nation that's definitely kind of on the up in winter sports. We're on the edge of getting close to that podium right now. And once we get a little bit of momentum, we'll definitely kind of finish the competition in the high, I hope.
You still come across as a very proud chef de mission, I should say.
Yeah, no, I am. I'm incredibly proud of them all. I really am. And I think that's probably a lot of that relates to me having been in the position. I've been an athlete, I've been through a lot of it. And that's when I can put myself in everyone's shoes. And it's not easy out here at the Winter Olympics. Like it is. It's the biggest sporting stage in the world. There's a lot of pressure, there's a lot of eyes on you. So I can relate to that. And I really am proud how everyone is conducting themselves.
And just finally, what should the people at home be listening out for over the coming days? I mean, the skeleton guys, a lot of people are talking about them, and obviously the skeleton girls as well. Yeah. And then bobsleigh medal opportunities there to come as well. What is exciting coming up for Team GB?
Well, I think every day is exciting, isn't it, during the Winter Olympics? I speak to a lot of people at home, and I'm not sure a lot of them have left the sofas, which is great because it's inspiring the nation as well, isn't it? Watching these young athletes taken to the slopes, taken to the ice rinks. But yeah, we have skeleton coming up. We've got bobsleigh. You mentioned figure skating. Still some more snow sports as well. Curling only kicks off tomorrow in the team event, and that runs right through to closing ceremony day. So we're only at day 4. We've got a long way to go.
Where are you going next?
I'm here in Cortina. I haven't quite planned the rest of my travels yet. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But right now I'm here in Cortina.
Oh, lovely to chat. Lovely to catch up. We'll see you soon. Okay.
Thank you.
So Eve Muirhead saying there's still plenty to be optimistic about, Michael. I thought it was a great interview. I thought you asked what you needed to ask. I mean, she said they're all doing their best. I don't think anyone's not saying that they are. She's saying British winter sport is on the up and on the edge of medals. I'd like to think that is true. And so I was thinking, well, where are we going to go next? Where could we win those medals? And I think you mentioned it with the interview with her that, yes, of course, Mia and Kirsty Muir could be back. Mia Brooks and Kirsty Muir could win medals after missing out a couple of days ago. But there are some other names that I thought were worth mentioning because we've talked a lot about the same people over and over again with Bruce and Jen and Kirsty and Mia in the last few days. So we've got the men's curling, of course, to come, as you rightly say. They're the world champions. Surely they can do that. But Bruce is going to have to bounce back. He was very emotional, as you said yesterday, but he did it 4 years ago. Does history repeat itself? It's a tough ask. I think the difference this year is a couple of others that I wanted to highlight. Skeleton. The men and the women are on form at the moment. They have been during the World Cup, and they are while they're training in Cortina.
And the mixed
Yes.
skeleton as well has to be another opportunity.
Yeah, they're World Cup champions in the mixed as well. Snowboard cross, we'll hear from Charlotte Banks and Hugh Nightingale later. I mean, anything could go wrong in those races. As we've seen on the snow and ice, anything could happen at any moment. But again, Charlotte Banks is coming back from injury and in good form. They're silver medalists in the Worlds as well in the snowboard cross mixed. It's a great event that is worth keeping an eye on. And then Zoe Atkin in the free ski half pipe. She's the world champion. So there are some opportunities to come, but I thought that Eve was right to come out and say what she said, slightly critical, but also positive at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, what else could she say? I mean, she wasn't going to come out at that point. And as I said earlier, I mean, we were literally speaking, jumped on a call with her just as she was coming out the venue within an hour. And she kept using the word proud, and that's sometimes a word I think is overused in sport when teams don't do what you think they're going to do. Oh, I'm very proud of them. I always used to think, I wonder if Alex Ferguson would be proud of his team losing a cup final or a important Premier League match. But she looks at it from an athlete perspective. And she said that in the interview as well. And I think she said exactly the right thing. She was quite confident in pointing out that they are doing everything they can. They are doing all the right things. So we certainly haven't heard any whispers or anything saying, that Team GB, UK Sport haven't given the athletes all the right tools, all the right circumstances to create that winning environment. Every athlete we speak to says that everything is there for them. They're just not quite delivering at the minute. They are just falling short. But we've always said that with winter sport on snow and ice, it's more unpredictable than a lot of sports. And you've listed them there. I mean, the ambition was 4 to 8, and you've just listed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 chances still to come. So,
yeah.
There's still opportunities, I would say. That said, it's been hugely disappointing. And I'm not obviously in the UK. I'd love to see what the papers are saying, because I started reading Tragic Monday, not Magic Monday stories, which I think is over the top.
Yeah, and I don't think that went down particularly well with some of the comments. Just quickly on the curling, they were never in it again, were they? Their worst 2 matches were the 2 matches where they needed to win.
Yeah, I mean, they were behind in the first end. I think they got level in the second end, but after that, they were never quite in it. They just weren't as fluent as they had been in that round robin stage. All those shots that they were making in the round robin stage, and Jen was probably the best player, I think, of anyone in the games in that round robin stage. Bruce, I think, grew into the tournament a little bit. And then again, both of them just didn't play to the level that we know that they can play. And you said, will Bruce be able to repeat what they did 4 years ago, which is put that disappointment behind them and then come back? I'm quite confident that he can, because of the other 3 in the team.
Because it brings a different environment, doesn't it?
Yeah, and just having, spent a little bit of time with Grant and Hammy and Bobby, who are the other 3 members of the team, I just don't see them as being the sort of personalities that will let Bruce wallow and not get his head back in the game. I actually think it's probably quite good that they're back in action against China tonight. And I imagine those 3 guys, and, I've spoken to them all in the last few days. They had a plan for whatever state of mind Bruce was going to come into this tournament. They had a plan for each and every different scenario. I think they'll have put that into practice last night. Eve said in the interview that the both athletes were just taking a little bit of time. But I imagine that they went back to their village last night and the focus has switched. And I think Bruce has probably woken up a different, happier individual today.
We'll keep our fingers crossed for that. We'll talk about some of the other news from the games in a moment, but we talked about it briefly in the pod yesterday. What about a medal for fourth?
No.
I talked about other events where you always get a fourth place. You always get recognised for finishing fourth. What kind of metal could we come up with? I mean, you went away and did some research. What did you cut? Copper, iron, lead?
I mentioned the eldest child's been moved up a set in
Well done, her.
In science. So I said to her, "Come on, what are we looking for? What's a metal that's precious but not quite as precious as bronze? Get your periodic table out. Do they still use that?" And she sent me something. I mean, I've since Googled it, and I think what she sent me was essentially the first AI answer that you get on a well-known search engine. I'm not sure there's a.
Don't tell the teachers.
Yeah, so I'm not sure that there's a great deal of revelation in what I'm about to say. Copper, iron, and lead apparently are the next three. Okay. First thing, we've had a couple of people message us saying, we shouldn't be rewarding losers. I don't think fourth in the world is a loser. That is the first thing I have to say.
Agreed.
Second thing,
that's the whole point. That is literally the whole point we're making. That they're not losers. We want to give them something else.
Well, yeah, I think the serious point is I don't think I would mess with the gold, silver and bronze format of the Olympics. I think there were a lot of people standing to be president of the IOC, some of them with slightly more ambitious plans for the movement than others. But I think the person who stands says, "I'm going to start awarding a medal for fourth," I just can't see it going down very well. Are you listening, Sebco?
You can give cash out for winning gold medals and silver medals.
I think the athletes would probably prefer more cash, to be honest.
But just very quickly, lead. I mean, that's probably the last one you want to give out. It doesn't sound. Here's the lead medal. That just really depressing.
It's the Six Nations equivalent of the wooden spoon.
Yeah.
The lead medal. Anyway, we are just having a bit of a giggle with that one, by the way. We did, as I say, have a couple of messages on social media, and you can find us on social media. Of course, we are on all the main platforms, and you can always send us a message there. You can also find us at our website, anythingbutfooty.com. We'd love to hear from you. In news from the games, then, another fourth place in the men's short track speed skating. Don't worry, it wasn't in a final. It was in the heats for the 1,000 metres for Niall Tracy. He actually came down. There was a bit of a clash between him and the Canadian Stephen Dubois. They both missed out on a place in the quarterfinals after a video review.
No such problems for Italy's darling Arianna Fontana, who progressed in the women's 500 metres. And the 35-year-old was then part of the team that won the short track mixed relay, her 12th medal in 6 Olympic Games. There could be more to come. Talking of winning medals, multiple medals at that. Johannes Hosfeld Nebo of Norway made it 2 from 2 in the men's cross country, winning the sprint this time. He's now won 7 Olympic golds in total. There's no lead there at all. James Clugnett was 45th for Team GB. Anna Price 32nd in the qualification with 30 progressing to the quarterfinals. However, that's the best result for a British female in history. So well done to her.
Mathieu Jenison made his Olympics moguls debut for Team GB. The 21-year-old finished 28th. That means has another chance for a place in the final in qualifying 2, which comes up later. Michaela Gherkin-Schofield is in the women's qualification 2 as well. That also comes up later after finishing 18th.
Olympic champion Michaela Schifrin has started these games like she did in Beijing by missing out on a medal. Leading the combined team with gold medalist in the downhill Breezy Johnson, the USA team finished 4th after the slalom. Austria and Germany won gold and silver, and the USA's Jacqueline Wiles and Paula Moltzen won the bronze.
That sounds like a skiing dream team, doesn't it? Michaela Schifrin and Breezy Johnson, but they only finished 4th. Matt Weston continues his world-leading times in the Olympic skeleton official training runs, which have been taking place at the Sliding Centre in Cortina. He finished 1st in practice yesterday in both runs. Marcus Wyatt finished 9th in both. Tabby Stoker was 1st and 2nd in the women's skeleton final official training later today.
Yeah, and then the racing starts. And Michael was talking earlier about feeling proud. How does it feel finishing 10 minutes behind the winner of the Winter Olympic Games? Well, it feels like poop. It's not what he said, but I'm
That's not what he said.
but I'm editing. That is why we love biathlon and professional sports. That is from Jacques Jeffries, who was making his Olympic debut for Team GB. He spoke on Threads after finishing 79th in the 20k biathlon. Sometimes you just got to tell it as it is.
Yeah, and poop was not the word he used. I'll tell you where I went yesterday. Went to see USA against Canada in the women's ice hockey at the Santa Juliana Arena. Now, they are the only nations to win gold in this event. They've met in the past 4 Olympic finals. So I thought, well, I've got to go and catch a little bit of that.
Talk about dream teams. They're the teams you want to see.
Yeah, and I got there just after it started. And the first thing to say really is the venue all feels pretty ready to meet, certainly when you get into the field of play area. I mean, it looks sensational. There's a few bits sort of backstage, some of those stairs that you need to climb to get to venue media zones and things like that are a bit unpainted. But, you know, we're not going to complain about that. All the areas that the general public, the spectators are seeing, all look fantastic. I thought the venue, you can kind of see it on the horizon when you come in on the tram for a while. It's all lit up with these kind of LED lights around the side as well. It looks absolutely sensational. All the landscaping completed outside. There's a couple of...
The Olympic rings are there?
The Olympic rings are there. Got my picture with the rings. The best rings I've seen so far are at the venue between where the figure skating and the speed skating is. But when I went there, it was absolutely packed, so I didn't have time to snap a picture. But the Olympic rings are outside the Santa Juliana Arena. As I said, there's a couple of sort of stone plinths, which I think they must be getting ready to put some kind of statue or something on at some point later on in the games. I stayed to see the USA go 4-0 into the lead and then made my bid for home to do some of the work that I need to do for the following morning for the radio. I think the USA ended up finishing 5-0 in total. Brilliant atmosphere. The US fans and the Canadian fans sat side by side. It was very one-sided. I hardly saw the Canadians get into the US half, to be honest. But yeah, really enjoyable. Very stop-start games of ice hockey. I don't think and I have seen domestic ice hockey in the UK in Sheffield many times, but this one felt even more stop-start than anything I've ever experienced before for some reason.
Is it about going and getting hot dogs and all that kind of stuff?
Well, yeah, I think that's the difference, isn't it, between the way sport is presented in many countries, the US being a prime example, and the way sport is presented in the UK. It's obviously presented, and we saw it. We've had the Super Bowl over the past few days. Lots of opportunities for broadcasters to get their adverts in. And that is what ice hockey does. That's what the NBA does. That's what, as I said, the NFL does. I mean, we've got adverts in game now in the Six Nations rugby. So amazingly, we were watching some of the Six Nations at the weekend in a Irish pub in the centre of Milan, and halfway through the match, they split the screen. They've got an advert on one side and they've got the play on the other side. But
that was much indignation in this country because ITV obviously showed that as well. So yeah, they weren't happy about it. Just quickly on the ice hockey, 5 teams in Group A all qualify, and 3 others from Group B. So basically, they've got rid of 2 teams for the whole round robin competition, and we're now in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, it's the same in the figure skating, which is tonight. I mean, there were 23 went in their first dance, and they only jettisoned 3 that didn't go through to the free dance. So you kind of argue it was harder to go out than it was to go through. The other thing I think just to say about the ice hockey is that people, the spectators, are in and out all the time. It's the game is on. But whereas when you go to, say, a football match in the Premier League, the match is the focus for 45 minutes. You just feel that the ice hockey is more a day out. It's an entertainment thing. It's happening and you enjoy it. And when the USA scored, it was absolutely brilliant. But actually, you're going in and out. You're getting your hot dogs and you're getting your drinks, your sodas.
So it's an experience.
Yeah, and it was a brilliant experience at the ice hockey. I'm going to go to the figure skating tonight, of course, for Lila and Lewis. It was the men's skating in the short program, which took centre stage last night. And I mentioned 21-year-old Ilya Malinin, the quad god before, the man who landed the quadruple axel, the only skater to have done it. He is leading that men's skating after the short program.
Yeah, he still hasn't done that quad in the Olympic Games, so that could come, as you say, in the free. And talking of the men's skating, Spain's Thomas Guerrero Sabate was allowed to dance to the music of the Minions and Despicable Me after Universal finally approved it. It was actually one of the questions that the International Olympic Committee get fired at by various media members of the media on a daily basis about supporting nations who to help them afford the music rights for the figure skaters. And there are calls for them to be funded by the IOC. I don't think the IOC ever give away cash, do they? But they were asked seriously. Wouldn't it be a good idea if you funded the music for these artists? Now, you could argue that it's great for the artists for the exposure point of view. The Proclaimers will be walking 500 miles tonight again after Lila and Lewis, no doubt, getting some extra cash with people when they enjoy that. But I do think that's a fair point that for some nations, trying to get permission for some of the music they want to dance to, the IOC could help.
I never even thought about it before, to be honest. It never even occurred to me that individual nations needed to go away and get permission to use the music. I just presumed there was some kind of blanket license in operation. You chose your music, that's what you skated to all year. And at the end of the year, the International Skating Union, the IOC, bunged a couple of quid in the back pocket of the Proclaimers or the Spice Girls or whoever it is. It just didn't occur to me. It's Milano Daily from Anything But Footy. Tomorrow's news today for Team GB and our other news from the games coming up.
LinkedIn is pretty great at a lot of things, like helping you tap into the latest trends and insights in your field. We cannot stop your coworker from tapping her pencil. LinkedIn can help you find new jobs that align with your career goals. We cannot help you find the source of that weird smell in the office fridge. Ew. And while we can't stop your coworkers from bringing their hobbies into the office, LinkedIn can help you bring your career to the next level. LinkedIn is the network that works for you.
Hi, I'm Ashley Nelson, and you're listening to Anything But Footy with the latest on the Winter Olympics.
This is Milano Daily from Anything But Footy. Time for TNT. That's tomorrow's news today. All eyes on the snowpark in Livigno for snowboard. Charlotte Banks, Hugh Nightingale back for their fourth and their second Olympic Games, respectively. As a pair, they won the 2025 Team Snowboard Cross World Championship silver medal, and they were world champions back in 2023. They also compete individually, of course. Charlotte won a World Cup individually just before the Games after recovering from a shoulder injury, which she suffered in training. First up, the men's snowboard cross. That is happening tomorrow. John has been speaking to both Hugh and Charlotte from Livigno.
It's been snowing pretty much every day since we've been here. So there's enough snow. It's making the course a bit slow, but other than that, it's a proper Winter Games.
I was going to say, you can have too much of a good thing, can't you? You can have too much snow.
Yeah, especially in our sport, probably you don't want snow on the race days because it will definitely slow you down. But it's an outdoor sport, and you kind of have to deal with the weather and that kind of stuff.
First few days on track, and it's been good. Some interesting things to work on, and some challenges with the weather for us, but also for the Wax Tech. So it's a good battle.
How does it work, Charlotte, when you're training? Are you on the course with all of your competitors and that when you're on the course? How does it work?
Yeah, well, we've had an hour and a half of training, and it's everybody on it at the same time, and we get 3 runs. So we get to decide how we want to drop, if you wanted to do heats or run solo, and just see how the track is running as well.
Hugh, how is the Olympic experience in comparison to Beijing?
Oh, it's completely different compared to Beijing. I mean, aside of all the COVID stuff, it's the venue's great. Everything is pretty much in one place, so it makes traveling everywhere quite easy. And the Olympic Village is really cool as well.
And Charlotte, I think this is your 4th Games. How does it compare with previous ones?
Yeah, I think every Games has been different, and it's my first in Europe, to be honest, and I think that's just, it's great. It was also easy to get here and whatever, so it's just made everything a lot easier and more enjoyable, and I think that, people haven't seen that many people in the venues yet because it's not quite started, but I think it's going to be a good show, and a lot of people coming to watch as well, so that'll be nice.
It's interesting, isn't it, that it has been so long since we've had a European Games, and Italy actually probably was the last one that did it in 2006.
Yeah, exactly. And I actually remember going to watch those. So yeah, it's quite nice to be back here now in Europe.
And Italy is a host. Obviously, they have this is their third Winter Games, so the Winter Games are important to them. And Charlotte, how are you injury wise? Because I know you are on the comeback trail. If you want, I mean, you've done exceedingly well in the World Cup, but how are you?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think that it's worked out quite well, and yeah, I'm where I wanted to be is the answer. So I'm happy with that, and looking forward to it.
Hugh, does it ever enter your mind when you're doing these training runs? Oh, do I want to push it too hard? Do I want to go too much in the training before the actual event?
Um, you know, I think in our sport, you kind of, if you do a bit half and half, it's probably not the best thing because you have to be fully focused and fully present in that run. And I think, I give it all on it each run, and I think everybody else does. So you kind of, if you wanted to beat them, you definitely have to give it all. And I think, yeah, you want to be the fastest guy every time. So it's kind of you just give it your all.
Individually, what are you aiming to achieve at these games?
I think that if I can put down a good performance and actually ride, yeah, be proud of my riding is kind of what I'm looking towards. And I know that if I do that and focus on that, I can be fast and hopefully we'll get a good result out of that as well.
Yeah, I think, I've grown a lot since the last Olympics, and I just quite like to show where I've improved, and I know the riding's there, and I just want to show what I can do really.
And then we know you're such a great team together for the team event. What should we expect?
Oh, fireworks. The unexpected.
Well, in your sport, I think that's probably the best answer.
Thank you.
Cheers.
So the men's cross, you'll have a seeding run and 1 and 2. So Hugh Nightingale will be in that. Then there'll be round 1, and then there will be the quarters, semis, and the finals. And we hope that Hugh gets all the way through.
Certainly do. Also on Thursday, in tomorrow's news today, more curling. Yeah, yes, it's the women's curling round robin getting underway. Canada are the world champions. Scotland, or Team GB, 6th in the rankings, and they take on China, like the men, in their first opponents. China are ranked 3rd in the world. Team Morrison, as it's called, not great for the Aldi sponsors of Team GB. However, Team Morrison is Rebecca Morrison, Sophie Jackson, who's the skip. So interesting, the skip isn't the leader. Jen Dodds, who of course we know, and Sophie Sinclair, their first match of the Olympics. And Michael has been speaking to Rebecca Morrison in Cortina.
I'm Rebecca Morrison from the GB women's curling team. We're here in Cortina, ready to play in the Olympics. It's my first one, and yeah, we want to go win some games.
How are Team Morrison shaping up then?
I feel like our journey has just been, slowly on the way up. Last year at the World Championships, we had a really good growth, and we got to the playoffs for the first time, and that got us here to the Olympics. So, year by year, we've just improved our results there, and we're looking to do the same here.
And for you, what does it mean to be at the Games, to have been selected here in 2026, having, of course, been in and around the team last time?
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. I've wanted to be an Olympian since I was a small child. So already this is a dream come true. Obviously, there's so much more to come over the next couple of weeks, but already this is so, so special. And when we arrived here in Cortina, it was just a bit of a pinch me sort of moment, because I can't believe that this dream I've had since I was a kid has actually come true, because not a lot of people can say that.
And does it feel more special for you because obviously missing out on Beijing and then having to watch the team and the brilliant achievement in winning that gold medal?
Yeah, that was a hard time. I think the way we did the run up to the Olympics last time was a little bit different, and we made a 9-man team in the lead up, and then they picked the team shortly before the Olympic qualification. Looking back now, I know I wasn't ready at that point, but at the time it really hurts. I think it was a blessing now that I've had this journey. But yeah, at the time, of course, it really hurts. And I'm actually delighted that I get to be here now in an Olympics that's completely COVID restriction free and it's beautiful and everything. So I'm so grateful for the journey that we've had. Obviously, yeah, it was not the easiest time watching it last time, but obviously delighted for them and Jen on our team. Like she's brought that experience into the team, and yeah, it's really contributed to our journey. So grateful for the journey I've had.
And the positive, of course, is that you are in and around a setup that knows how to get a gold medal at the Olympic Games, not least the chef de mission, of course.
Yes, of course. So not seen Eve yet on this trip, but we will at some point, I'm sure. And she's here to support us all in Team GB. And she's had a very successful career. She's won just about everything there is to win. And of course, the Olympic 2022 gold medal, that was massive. And, you know, I think when you've had a career so long and you've had your highs, you've had your lows, you've got all the experiences to share with every athlete. So I'm sure she'll be able to pass that on to us all. And I look forward to it.
Who else are Team Morrison looking out for, and who should the people at home be eyeing up as potential rivals?
Honestly, the women's circuit at the moment is so strong. Every team that we're going to play out there is a brilliant team in their own rights. Of course, you've got Canada, who are the current world champions, and they've won that the last couple of years. And right behind them, you've got Switzerland, who've come second the last couple of years. And prior to that, they had a great streak at the World Championships, winning it for like 5 in a row or something. They've had a brilliant run as well in the Grand Slams. Then you've got so many of the Asian teams have been winning. You've got Korea, China, Japan. Like, honestly, everyone out there is fantastic in their own right. And yeah, like everyone's one to look out for. I can't predict who is going to finish where this week.
And at this level, of course, everybody is a medal contender, aren't they? Because they've had to come through such a hard qualification process. There's no one making up the numbers.
Absolutely. I think that especially in curling, as the years have gone on, you get countries growing with the game, and these days when you've got a top 10 in the world for the Olympics, everyone's so brilliant. So I don't know, I think maybe a few cycles ago it wasn't quite the same level, but every cycle that comes around these days, everyone's just better and better.
Now, I'm right in saying you were born in Bristol. Is that right?
I was, yes. Yes,
you know, England will start to claim you because obviously you're Scottish, but England will claim you and claim this if and when you get your hands on those medals.
You know what? If people feel like they want to claim me, then that's an honour. So, yeah, of course, I did move from Bristol when I was 6 months old, but I've spent a lot of time down in England recently because my partner lives in Berkshire. So, yeah, it's somewhere that I've been getting to know a lot more recently down south. So, you know what? If anyone wishes to claim me, then I'm honoured and thank you.
I've been speaking to quite a lot of the men's team. They are very much forthright in saying that they are here to win the gold medal. Is Team Morrison as bullish to say the same?
You know, Team Merit have had a very different journey from us. They were the silver medalists last time around. They're current world number one. Of course, anything but gold for them is going to be a disappointment. For us, if we get a medal, we're going to be absolutely delighted. It's just a different journey for our first Olympics. And yeah, it's of course we want gold. But if we came away with a silver or bronze, we're going to be absolutely delighted. A medal is a fantastic for where we are at in our careers. So yeah, I think it's just a different point of where we're at, and maybe in 4 years' time we'll be saying what they are, but just slightly different.
That's me in conversation with Rebecca Morrison of Team Morrison, and as she says there, the women's team have been on a very different journey from the men's team over the past 4 years. It's not quite wholesale changes in women's curling because Jen Dodds is the survivor, but the other members of Team Muirhead, Eve Muirhead's team, of course, have moved on. So I think it's a very tough ask for Team Morrison to go and retain the title that Eve Muirhead's team won. But they are in and around those nations, I think, that will see themselves, if things go right, and the ice is going the right way for them, that they will consider themselves medal contenders, opportunities, I think, to get to the latter stages. But we'll wish them luck, and we'll wait and see.
Absolutely. And as we said yesterday, 3 weeks of curling. That is effectively the Winter Olympics.
We are here every day. That is effectively the Winter Olympics too. Milano Daily will get you Team GB results, reaction, news, interviews and views from the games. And we'll have TNT, tomorrow's news today as well. I mentioned you can find us on social media. Check us out on Instagram, on Thread. Send us a message there. Just search for Anything But Footy. Have a listen to the Spotify Olympics music playlist when you're going for your daily walk. Put that on in your headphones and make sure you keep listening. This is Milano Daily from Anything But Footy.
And we're going to finish with wishing Lila and Lewis all the best.
Hi, I'm Lila Fear.
And I'm Lewis Gibson, and you're listening to Anything But Footy,
with the latest on the Winter Olympics.